Rise to all of you faithful viewers of Equinoxe television. Thank you again for being with us today on this edition of the news in the English language. Our major stories tonight. Being diagnosed of any type of cancer is not a death sentence. The idea is early diagnosis and treatment. Early diagnosis can save more than 70% of people suffering from cancer. This is the advice from oncologists as Cameroon joins other countries to observe the World Cancer Day today. We'll tell you more on cancer care and treatment in this news edition. And the dust seems to have settled at the helm of the Northwest Regional Assembly, the House of Chiefs to be more precise. This is after a crisis involving the regional president and his former vice. What really happened and how is it being resolved or handled now? Details up next. Viewers, those are our lead stories. Details more when we come back. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for always being with us. Thank you for the confidence. We begin with one of our lead stories. The dust seems to have been settling at the helm of the Northwest Regional Assembly, particularly the House of Chiefs, after weeks of crisis involving the regional president and his former vice, Foniakum Kevin of Bambalang. Foniakum Kevin, the immediate past president of the Northwest House of Chiefs, resisted handing over the office keys and service card to his successor, claiming his dues from the regional presidency. In a public show, it took days of threats and negotiations to have the keys and get his successor out of the corridors. For me, Armstrong Sander tells us what really happened and how it is being handled at the moment.
In this Samate video, the president of the Northwest Regional Assembly, Professor Fu Angwafo, hands over the keys to the official vehicle and office to the new president of the Northwest Regional Assembly House of Chiefs, His Royal Highness Fonfo Amidu of Nkambe. The keys had been controversially withheld by the former president Foniakum Kelvin of Bambalan for reasons some outlined here in this document, which he addressed to the Northwest Regional Assembly president on January 28, 2026. Dear Honorable President, I have been using the above-mentioned car since the 2nd of June 2023 till yesterday. I have incurred expenses on the car as seen on the copies of receipt present below. I have the honor to kindly appeal to you as vote holder of the Northwest Regional Assembly to cause the settlement of these bills as fast as possible. I know you have a good memory of the past where I was kept in captivity for 2 years. This incident cost me all my privileges and benefits within the executive. I deserve the right to sort for legal redress to the case if not resolved on time, Honorable President. It took intense negotiations and threats for him to finally hand over the keys as backed by these 2 letters from the Northwest Regional Assembly Secretary General to His Royal Majesty. The incoming Vice President, President of the House of Chiefs, having taken oath of service on January 7, 2026, can't access his office and loitering in the corridors of the House because of your unattainability to hand over the keys and materials in your keeping. You have 72 hours to report for the said exercise, failure which administrative and disciplinary sanctions will be taken. Foniakum Kelvin had been abducted by separatists and held captive for 18 months. After his release and the eventual election of the new president, he felt that he hadn't fully served his term and claimed certain benefits tied to his position, justifying his initial refusal to hand over the keys. The handing over ceremony, however, finally took place, ending weeks of tensions within the institution, but political observers say that the impact translates a governing system in total disarray.
In health, today has been observed as a World Cancer Day. Health experts at the Nilon District Hospital here in Douala emphasized the need to go for cancer screening so as to begin immediate surgery in the case of a tumor. During a sensitization campaign on World Cancer Day, today, February 4, they ruled out the mystification of cancer and the notion that the disease is incurable. A cancer survivor testified and encouraged people to get diagnosed early enough. Innocent Asa with details.
Cancer remains a major life-threatening disease in Cameroon in particular and the globe in general. Existing in different forms, lives keep perishing due to late diagnosis, despite endless sensitization campaigns organized with the objective of fighting cancer.
Dépistage. Nous devons avoir l'esprit du dépistage car le dépistage nous sauve de ce cancer à 80 à 90%.
Mais lorsque c'est un peu tardif, c'est un peu compliqué.
Most persons die of cancer today because they come for diagnosis when it is already chronic, making treatment difficult. The earlier cancer is detected, the easier the diagnosis or treatment.
Pour la société où nous vivons.
The stigma, the mystification of cancer, and the belief it is incurable have driven many into their graves. Through the theme of this year's commemoration of World Cancer Day being United by Unique, implying every experience with cancer is unique and it will take all of us united to create a world where we look beyond the disease and see the person before the patient. Health experts exhort everyone to care for one another, for it is a well-known disease that is curable.
Encourager les gens à ne pas mystifier la maladie, à ne pas penser à la sorcellerie. C'est une maladie qui est connue et qui est guérissable si elle est prise en charge précocement.
At a sensitization campaign at the Nilong District Hospital, Douala, one of the cancer survivors encouraged cancer patients to seek treatment and regain their health.
Je vais d'abord souhaiter bon courage à tous les malades de cancer.
Getting sick of cancer is not a fatality, she says.
Être malade, c'est pas une fatalité.
As a victim of cancer back then, everyone knew her life had come to an end. But her courage to get diagnosed makes her a cancer survivor for 11 years now.
11 ans durant que je bagarre et puis je crois que je suis une preuve vivante.
No one should be discouraged, she advises.
Prenez soin de vous, suivez attentivement les conseils de votre médecin, car seuls leurs conseils peuvent nous aider.
Early screening has been advanced as the miracle step to getting cured.
Le départ de toute chose, c'est de se faire dépister et de ne pas perdre espoir parce qu'effectivement, le cancer peut se faire traiter. On peut guérir du cancer si on se fait dépister à temps.
While free screening is ongoing at the Nilong District Hospital and other health facilities in Cameroon on the occasion of World Cancer Day, you are expected to seize the opportunity to get screened for early treatment in case of cancer detection.
We will be talking more on that in the second part of the news with an oncologist from Sudan, Dr. LANA MOHAMED. Now over to something else. Equatorial Guinea and Cameroon will jointly exploit their border oil fields with the signing of the Joint Development Agreement for the Yoyo Yolanda project. The ceremony presided over by the Vice President of Equatorial Guinea, Ngema Obiang Mange, took place at the People's Palace in Malabo today. Cameroon's interim Minister of Mines, Industries and Technological Development, Professor Fu Calisius Gentry, signs for his country, Cameroon, and Antonio Oburundo, Minister of Hydrocarbons and Mining Development, signs for Equatorial Guinea. A reporter, Babila Jonathan, reports or tells us that the agreement is seen as a major step in the consolidation of bilateral relations and collaboration between both countries and a step further in sub-regional integration.
Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea have established a legal framework for the joint exploitation of natural resources cutting across the borders of both Central African nations. The agreement on the transboundary gas field located between the towns of Yoyo in Cameroon and Yolanda in Equatorial Guinea is seen as a milestone in bilateral relations. It was signed by Cameroon's Interim Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, Professor Fu Calistus Gentry, the Equatorial Minister of Hydrocarbons and Mining Development, Antonio Oburu Ondo, and heads of hydrocarbon institutions of both countries in the presence of the Vice President of Equatorial Guinea, Ngema Obiang Mange.
El acuerdo que firmamos hoy.
The agreement we are signing today represents a historic step in a progress. The agreement we are signing today represents a historic step in a process of strategic cooperation between our two nations. Equatorial Guinea and Cameroon are two brotherly countries united by geography, history, culture, and more. With the signing of this agreement, the two countries are taking a further step towards consolidating a historic relationship of mutual benefit which strengthens regional stability and reinforces the trust so important between neighboring states. The success of this agreement demonstrates that sincere cooperation is the most direct path to the effective management of shared natural resources.
De recursos naturales compartidos.
Though the gas deposit is the subject of the unification agreement, authorities of both countries see the impact is far-reaching.
El campo Yoyo-Yolanda representa mucho más que un yacimiento de gas.
The Yoyo-Yolanda field represents much more than a gas deposit. It represents the institutional maturity of our state and the capacity to transform a transboundary geological challenge into a shared opportunity for prosperity, stability, and sustainable development.
Y rigurosas.
The Equatorial Guinean Vice President qualifies the agreement as a crucial step, coming after what he calls complex and rigorous negotiations. He adds that the agreement enables the rational and equitable management of the deposit in accordance with international standards, enhancing confidence among states and operators while preventing potential future disputes.
And now to the Northwest region in Dub, where at least 18 students are facing a difficult reality as we speak. They may not be able to sit in for the 2026 GCE examinations without birth certificates. Their registration files remain incomplete, and the January 31 deadline is already over. For these young students, their future now hang on the hope of a registration extension. Boo Stella traveled to Dub and now brings us the story in this report.
On this quiet campus in Dub, students preparing for the GCE ordinary and advanced level examinations are revising intensely, but behind their concentration lies fear. Equinoxe television met 18 of them. Some had paid their registration fees but lacked the most important document, their birth certificates, while others are still to pay.
As of now, as we are talking, the GCE registration has ended. We still have about 20-something children without birth certificates. And again, one other major problem is poverty. Up to today, you have a good number of children still coming to register for the GCE when the registration has ended last Friday.
The armed conflict, now in its 10th year, has destroyed homes, displaced families, and burnt vital documents. Many of these students lost their birth certificates while fleeing violence.
Because I never had a birth certificate, and my uncle was afraid to come to the council to follow up the issue of the birth certificate. So he decided to follow an NGO organization who said they will be producing free birth certificate. And since here there are no birth certificate available.
10 years of conflict have also pushed families into deep poverty. Many parents survive on small-scale farming and petty trading. Others depend on humanitarian aid, which is often not enough to cover school expenses.
I'm able to register for the GC because I lost my father. So all this I've been in the village. So when I came back, I had to struggle to raise money for my registration.
With registration officially closed, School authorities and students are appealing to the Minister of Secondary Education for an extension.
So we are pleading to the authorities that if they can look into it and extend the deadline for registration for the GCE, it may be better. It will go a long way to help the children.
For these 18 students in NUP, all they want is the minister's signature extending the registration deadline and giving them a chance to pursue their dreams.
Hopefully a special treatment is accorded to those students from DOP. Now we talk sports. The Royal Moroccan Football Federation has announced its decision to appeal sanctions imposed by the Confederation of African Football CAF following the controversial Africa Cup of Nations final held in Morocco. The African Cup of Nations final, which took place on January 18, saw Senegal defeat Morocco 1-0 in a match marked by dramatic incidents, including a walkout by Senegalese players and pitch invasion by fans. Majikan Gabriel completes the story.
According to the media release from the Royal Moroccan Football Federation, it criticized the sanctions as disproportionate to the seriousness and gravity of the incident during the January 18 match, which was overshadowed by a 14-minute interruption after Senegalese players staged a walk-off, a pitch invasion by their fans, and confrontations involving players and staff. It is for this reason that the Royal Moroccan Football Federation will appeal the decisions to safeguard all rights guaranteed by law. Another argument put forth by a Moroccan journalist, Adil Azarewal, states that the anger of Morocco doesn't only fall on the financial sanctions but also on the fact that the decision of the disciplinary committee of CAF lacked legal basis. It should be recalled that the Royal Moroccan Football Federation saw two of the players of the national selection, Captain Ashraf Hakimi, handed a 2-match suspension, one of which is suspended for a year, while Ismail Saibari was banned for 3 games, with both players penalized for attempting to remove Senegal goalkeeper Edouard Mendy's towel in heavy rain conditions alongside other sanctions. Meanwhile, the Gabonese Football Federation, FEGAFOOT, has received a staggering 605 applications for the position of the head coach. The previous technical team, led by Thierry Muyuma, was dismissed after a poor showing and group stage elimination in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. A special committee has been tasked with the reviewing of the massive volume of applications to find a candidate with the right blend of technical expertise and leadership to build a team. The move comes as part of a wider effort to restructure the national team and restore pride among fans, with candidates like Mohamed Salih mentioned in the context of needing a fresh start.
Thanks, Matt. That does it for the first part of the news, viewers. Let's move on to talking points. Welcome back, viewers. Today we are observing the World Cancer Day, dedicated to the fight against that killer disease. Thousands of Cameroonians are suffering from various types of cancers and fear there is very little or no hope for them. But no, there is still hope for cancer patients. Our guest tonight is an oncologist. She is from Sudan. She is Sudanese, currently working at the Cameroon Oncology Center in Bikoko here in Douala. Thank you so much, Dr. LANA MOHAMED, for accepting to talk to us on Cancer Care today.
Dr. LANA MOHAMED, I am Sudanese. I am head of medical oncology in Cameroon Oncology Center. I have been there since 15 months ago, and I am really very, very glad to be here in Cameroon. I am so excited.
And now, Doctor, we'll begin with this question, which sounds somehow simple but very fundamental. When we talk about cancer, what are we talking about? Because most people nowadays, they fear to go for cancer testing because they think it is a death sentence. As an oncologist, what can you tell them?
Honestly, previously, whenever we say that cancer, it means that dead. Any people that put in their mind cancer related to the death, and it is something not really true. There's big differences between cancer and between this, and for now there is a lot of cancer can be cured completely. Honestly, one of my notifications here in Cameroon, people usually came very late because they are scaring a lot. Whenever they feel any sign of cancer or symptom of cancer, they came late and they are scaring. They run away from that cancer. They feel that they will die. And honestly, it is not something true. Cancer for now, it is curable. A lot of it can curable, and there is big differences to come early and came late. Whenever you came late, you decrease your chances of treatment. My recommendation for all, whenever you feel anything, you feel any symptom, run to the hospital, because for now cancer are curable. And whenever you came early, you will increase your chances of cure. And whenever you late and stay at home, you will just punch yourself.
Dr. LANA MOHAMED, you work at the Cameroon Oncology Center. Now, can you tell us what types of cancers do you usually diagnose more and treat at the center in Bikoko?
Honestly, here there is a lot of breast cancer in the female. We see a lot of breast cancer. And as I said, usually people came late because of scaring. And the second cancer that we are facing in female is cervical cancer. Third one is colorectal cancer. And in male, the most frequent one is prostate cancer.
Some visible symptoms of cancer, doctor.
Let's begin from breast cancer.
Yes, of course, the symptoms and signs differ from every cancer and another. We can start with breast cancer. We can say that 80% of cancer patients, they came with lump. They feel that there is something abnormal, there is nodule or lump in the breast. Yes, this is the most common symptom and the first symptom of breast cancer. After that, they feel that there is an lump under the axilla and the skin became abnormal. Sometimes they feel that there is an ulceration and some discharge from their nipple. This is the most symptoms of breast cancer. Regarding cervical cancer, the first symptom of cervical cancer is vaginal bleeding. Okay, usually the female develop vaginal bleeding. Sometimes there is abnormal vaginal discharge and vaginal pain after intercourse. This is the most three symptoms of cervical carcinoma. When we say that there is colorectal carcinoma, it is different because colon is different from recta. In colon cancer, people usually came with alteration in bowel habit. When we say alteration in bowel habit, it means that sometimes there is diarrhea and sometimes there is constipation. They feel that there is abdominal discomfort and distension. Regarding rectal carcinoma, patients feel that there is rectal bleeding and rectal pain. This is the most serious symptoms of the cancer, but please, my recommendation again, whenever you feel any symptom of that, rush to the hospital.
Now, Dr. LANA, let's talk about some of the causes. You are from Sudan, you've been in Cameroon, you've been working in Cameroon for about 15 months now, you told us, but the causes in every African country should be the same, I think. So what are some of the major causes of cancer? Because most times we hear it's difficult to pinpoint a particular cancer stimulant.
Cancer has a lot of causes, okay, and all of us that are interpreted with each other, but we can say that genetic background, it is take a big space, especially here in Cameroon. This is why I recommend female to go for screening. It is very important. Screening, it is very important. And the second issue, there is a virus called human papilloma virus that is responsible for cervical carcinoma. Also, I recommend that the government to introduce the vaccination for this human papilloma virus, because we have a lot of cases of cervical cancer under the background of human papilloma virus. Also, there is environmental issues, use of pesticide and something like that. Also, if we control this, it will be something good.
And talking about cancer care, can you tell us about the different protocols put in place at the COC for cancer treatment?
Here in Cameroon Oncology Center, we treat cancer patients like they are treating them in USA, in Canada, in all. In oncology, there is international guideline. We follow this guideline, and of course, it is differ from each cancer to another.
Talk of new departments being set up at the COC for better treatment of cancer patients. Could you please explain further, Doctor?
Yes, okay. We have two main parts of department in oncology, Cameroon Oncology Center, which is medical oncology, which regarding giving patient chemotherapy, immunotherapy, in addition to the targeted therapy. And of course, before treatment, we screen the patient, and if they are cancer, we diagnose and treat and follow them. This is the part of medical oncology, and there is another part of radiation oncology which delivers radiotherapy to the patient. In addition, any patient that came which is unfit or unstrong, we give him something called palliative treatment. We have this department in our hospital, palliative care unit, yes. In addition to all of that, we have nutritionists, we have psychologists, and we have physiotherapists. We can say that we deal with patients from A to Z. Yes.
Dr. LANA MOHAMED, like I mentioned a while ago, you are from Sudan and you have been in Cameroon for over a year now. You might have noticed many people shy away from being tested for cancer. What can you tell them, and also those who are already sick as well?
In the World Cancer Day, I can say to them, don't scared, don't run away. Cancer now is curable. There is a lot of chances of treatment. Previously, we used chemotherapy, and people, they are scaring a lot from chemotherapy because they are related that chemotherapy to side effect. But for now, we have immunotherapy, we have targeted therapy. These two modules of treatment, they are increasing the chances of cure. Please, whenever you feel anything, run to the hospital. For now, cancer is cure. And whenever you came early, you increase your chances of treatment.
Thank you so much, Dr. LANA MOHAMED, for being our guest tonight. Just to remind our viewers that you are a Sudanese and have been heading the oncology department of the Cameroon Oncology Center for some time now, and you have been treating so many people of cancer, especially women with breast cancer. We appreciate your availability, and also to Professor Paul Morbit for making this conversation possible.
Welcome, and I am very glad to be here in Cameroon. Thank you again.
Thank you to viewers. That was what we put together for you on this edition of the news in the English language. Thank you so much for always being there. Our programs continue tonight. Soga Lengotu will be with you in about 30 minutes or so. For Equinoxe and Irish Gonomala, we will be here at 8 p.m. for the news in the French language. Bye-bye for now, and God willing, we will be again together tomorrow same time.